Hi everybody, we all know Sid just wrap up data structure stack using list, and with that his entire unit 1 portion worth 40 marks is complete. Now he is moving ahead with unit 3 database management, which carries 10 marks in the board exam. So just like Sid, let's begin our journey with database and MySQL. To make it simpler, we will divide this portion into 3 parts so that you can learn step by step without feeling overwhelmed. So here is the plan for the part 1. We will be going through different terminologies related to database. Followed by that topic, we will try to understand types of statements, that is DDL and DML. Along with that, we will get an idea about constraints. Even at the end of the video, we will try to practice some basic MySQL commands like show databases, create table, drop and describe. Before getting the knowledge of the terminologies related to database, we should know what is database. Database we use to store interrelated data. Interrelated data means which is related to each other. Let's pause for a moment and ask, why are databases so important? Imagine a school library. Thousands of books are stored, issued and written every day. If everything was managed on paper registers, it would be chaotic. But with a database system, all the information like which book is issued, to whom and when is stored in an organized, quick and reliable way. That's the power of databases. They allow us to store, manage and retrieve data efficiently. Whether it's a bank transaction, an online shopping cart or your school records, databases are working silently behind the scenes, making our digital world possible. We understood what is database. Then what is database management system? It is nothing but a software which provides us the facilities of storing and maintaining data. Here are some of the examples of that software. We are using MySQL. You may get encounter with one more term, that is RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Then what is it? We already know database management system is nothing but a software. RDBMS is a software in which the data is stored in the form of relation, and relation is nothing but a table. It means in case of RDBMS, the data stored in the form of table. Now let's go through some of the terminologies associated with database. Look at the table. You know the horizontal are the rows and vertical are the columns. There is another word for the row, that is record, and the another word for the column is field. So when we talk about database, we call row as record and column as field. Now what about this tuple and attribute? There is one more term for the row, that is tuple, and for column we use attribute. Here comes one more term, that is degree and cardinality. Relate this cardinality word to row. So cardinality is nothing but a number of rows. Look at the table. This is first row, this is second and this is the third row. That's why cardinality is equals to 3. If we can keep the cardinality means number of rows, then there is no issue to keep in mind that degree means number of columns. In this table, the columns are also 3. So, degree is 3. Now, let's revise these terms in short. Tuple means row, attribute means column. Oh, there is one more term we skipped. Look at the table again. The term is domain. Domain means the set of possible values which we can enter in a particular column. Look at this column. It is a item number. So, we can enter integer values here. For item number, the domain is set of integer value. And if you talk about item name, here we will be entering some string values. So domain for item name will be string values. We cannot enter here integer value. That's why the definition of the domain is a set of values that can be entered in an attribute. Finally, here are two important terms. Cardinality is number of tuples. Tuples are nothing but rows. Now we know degree means number of attributes. Attributes means columns. You may get question in the exam of this form. Table will be given and you need to tell the degree and cardinality. Now there is no doubt you can answer this question easily. We connected word row to the cardinality. Number of rows are 2, then number of columns means degree, that is 3. Moving ahead, there is one more important topic we are gonna discuss, that is keys. There are different types of keys we will be studying. The first one is primary key. Primary key is nothing but a column of a table which uniquely identify row in a table. Look at this table. Here we can assign roll number as primary key because it will be unique. If we assign any column as primary key, it doesn't allow duplicates value, even it will not take null values too. The second important key is candidate key. Candidate key is also a column of the table which can be a primary key. In this table, roll number and admission number can be a primary key. That's why both are candidate keys. Now what about this alternate key? We understood what is candidate key. Here roll number and admission number can be a candidate key because it can act as a primary key. But out of these two columns, only one can be a primary key. If roll number will become the primary key, then admission number will called as a alternate key. So look at the definition now. The candidate key which is not a primary key. The last important key is foreign key. Foreign key is used to combine two or more tables. Look at the first table. The primary key of the first table is roll number. If we consider this roll number in another table, that will be the foreign key of this table then. Now let's read the definition. A column in one table will refer to the primary key of another table is called as foreign key. So for this student academics table, roll number is the foreign key because it refers the primary key of another table. Hope you understood the concept of keys. Now let's try to understand the types of statements. All the MySQL commands are categorized into these types. These two statements are important. The first one is DDL. DDL means data definition language, and the second one is DML. DML means data manipulation language. Keep the full form in mind. You may get question on this. Then let's study which are the DDL commands. We are going to discuss 3 DDL commands: create, alter, drop. Now you need to remember the name of the DDL commands too, because you may get question for 1 mark in which you need to tell the name of the DDL commands. So let's relate DDL command to the word CAD: create, alter, drop. And the commands which will be under DDL are update, insert, delete. Now let's create one word for this also. It is UID. So DML commands are UID: update, insert, delete. Moving ahead to the next important topic related to database is constraint. Constraint is nothing but a rule which we are going to apply on the table. With that we can make sure the type of data we are entering into the table. Here are the 5 constraints: unique, primary key, default, check and foreign key. Let's try to understand these constraints in short. The first one is unique constraint. If we apply unique constraint on any column, then you cannot enter duplicate value. Look at this record. These are duplicates. Then you will get error. The second constraint is primary key constraint. We understood the meaning of primary key. If we apply primary key constraint on any column, then that column will not accept duplicate values, even null values. Is there any doubt between primary key constraint and unique constraint? Let's look at the difference. Primary key constraint doesn't allow null values, whereas unique key constraint allows null values. In a table, there will be only one primary key constraint, but there can be multiple unique constraints. Third constraint is default constraint. With that, we can assign some default value for that column. If we don't provide any value, the default values will get considered. Moving ahead to the fourth constraint, that is check constraint. If you want to apply some condition on the data which are going to store in the column, that time we can use check constraint. Look at the column age. We need the employee with the age greater than 25. With the check constraint, only the values which are greater than equals to 25 will get entered. Finally, we have foreign key constraint. We know the concept of foreign key. Here employee ID is a foreign key because it refers to the primary key of another table. Now how to apply all these constraints on the table? When we use create table command, that time we will be writing it. Let's move ahead and get acquainted with some of the basic MySQL commands. Try all these commands in MySQL software. The first command is show database. It is used to display the available databases. Here is the command show databases. You know that SQL commands are not case sensitive. You can write in capital or lowercase. The second command is create database, with the help of which we can create new database. Why we create database? Because we can store all the related tables into that database. So here database is nothing but a collection of tables. So before start working in MySQL, you need to create database. In that database, then you can create tables. Look at the command create database, and then we have to provide the name of the database. Here is one example, create database student. Moving ahead to the third command, use database. To access a particular record, we will be using use database command. We created student database. Now we want to access it. To access it, we will be using use command. Using this command, you are into this database. If you no longer need any database, you can delete it using drop command. Drop databases, and then we need to provide the database name. Here is the example. We created student database. Now with drop database, we are going to remove it. But wait, don't delete database. We need to create table into it. Before creating the table, we should have understanding of the MySQL data type. For string, we will be using these two data types, that is char and varchar. In bracket, you need to mention the size of the string. Size means the maximum length which we can enter into that particular column. Then for numeric value, we have two data types. One is integer. Integer means it will take number without decimal point. And with decimal point, if you want to enter, then we will be using decimal data type. Here is the data type for entering date, and time is used for entering time. We could see there are two data types for entering string. What's the difference between them? Char data type is a fixed length and the possible range is this. Whereas varchar is a variable length data type, and here is the range for this varchar data type. What is fixed length and variable we will understand with example. Look at the example. There are two fields with the same name. Just for understanding, we have given the same name for both the fields. The size is same, that is 15. In both columns, we have stored the same string. Now, we want to know the number of bytes occupied by both the string. So, in case of character 15, it will take 15 bytes of storage, as we have given here size 15, though it is storing a shorter string. Whereas in case of varchar 15, it will take as many bytes as the length of the string. So the number of bytes here will be 9. That is the difference between char and varchar data type. Now we know different data types. Let's create the table. For creating the table, we use create table command. Here is the syntax. Create table followed by the table name. In brackets, we need to provide the column details. This is the first column name followed by data type. If we are taking char and varchar, you need to specify the size also. In case there are any constraints, we will be mentioning it here. Let's create one simple table. Create table students personal detail. In bracket, here is the detail of the columns. The first column is roll number. The data type is integer. We are applying primary key constraint. The second column is name. The data type is varchar and the size is 15. The third column is date of birth and the data type is date. I would suggest you to execute these commands in MySQL so that you will be familiar with the syntax of the commands. You know, while creating table, you can apply constraint. Here we applied check constraint. And in the second example, we are trying default constraint. In this way, we created database, and in that database, we even created one table. After creating the table, if you want to know the structure of the table, you can use DESC command. It displays the structure of the table. Here is the syntax DESC followed by table name. Look at the output. You will get details of the columns. Using show databases, we got to know the list of the databases. In the same way, we have one more command, that is show tables. With that, you will be getting list of the tables. You need to write show tables. Let's move ahead to the next command, that is drop table. There is a drop database command. In the same way, we have drop table command also. Drop table and table name. Look at this example. Drop table, the name of the table is S1. Alright then, let's talk about the remaining MySQL commands. From DDL, we understood create and drop command. With the help of drop command, we can drop database as well as table. From this category, only one command is left, that is alter command. Let's go through it. Alter command can be used in a different way. The first usage is to add a column. The second usage is to modify a column data type. Even we can use alter command to change the column name. And finally, we can drop a column name or any constant that we applied on the table. Here is the first usage of the alter table command by using add clause. It is used to add column to the existing table. Look at the syntax. Alter table, then we are specifying the table name. Here is the add clause. Name of the new column that we are going to add followed by the data type. If there is any constant that we have to mention. Here is the previous existed table that we have created. Now we want to add one field to it named mobile number. Alter table student name, add mobile number, and the data type is integer. Look at the output of the command, one field got added. As we did not provide any data to the column, null will get stored. Then we can use update command to update the data for every record. Alter table command can be used with the modify clause. What's the use? It is used to modify the column of the existing table. With the use of modify clause, we are changing the data type of the mobile number field. We can follow this syntax. Alter table table name. Here is the modify clause. Provide the column name for which we have to change the data type. We will be mentioning here new data type. If it is char and varchar, we need to mention the size also. Let's proceed to the third use. Alter table command with change clause. With this we can change the column name. Look at the syntax. Alter table table name. Here is the clause change. Old column name followed by new column name. Considering the same table, we are changing the field name from mob number to mobile number. Now we are using drop clause with alter table command. With the drop clause, we can remove a component of the table. Look at the syntax. Alter table table name, drop column name, or we can mention the constant. This is the new added field that we are going to remove from the table. And in the second example, we are trying to drop the constant primary key. Got it now how versatile this alter table command is. Lot of modifications we can do on the existed table. By completing alter table command, we covered whole DDL section. It's time to move ahead to the DML section. In DML section, we will study update command, insert command, and delete command. Let's get started with insert into command. Insert into command is used to add a row to the table. Here is the syntax. Insert into table name. After that, we will be providing the field names. Followed by field names, there is a keyword values, and the list of the values we will be providing in brackets. Look at this example. We are trying to insert one record in the student personal table. Here are the values for all the columns. If we will provide values for all the columns, no need to mention here column list. But there is a variation for the insert command. If you need to insert values for the specific columns, in that case you need to provide the list of the fields too. With this MySQL command, out of these 3 columns, we are providing values only for 2 columns. In that case, we need to mention the column names for which you are providing the values. Look at this record. There is a value for roll number and name. As we didn't provide value for date of birth, null got inserted. Here is the second DML command, that is update. Update command is used to modify the existing record in the table. If you want to edit some record, that you can do with the update command. Look at the syntax. Update table name. Then we will be writing clause set. With set clause, we need to mention the values which we need to update. Where condition is optional. If you have, you can write it, otherwise you can skip it. Let's have a look at one example. In this existed table, we are trying to update the date of birth for the roll number 103 as null got inserted from the previous command. In this way, we will be writing the update command. Update table name. Set. We are changing the date of birth field, so we need to mention date of birth. Here is the date. This is the default date format. YYYY-MM then DD. With where clause, we are providing the condition. Look at the record now. Date of birth got updated. With update command, we can update multiple columns also. In that case, you need to mention the list of the columns along with values separated by comma. In this example, we are trying to update the name as well as city for the employee ID 101. So after execution of this command, name and city will get updated. Now let's look at one example, that is without where clause. Update employee, set city equals to Nagpur. In this case, all the records will get updated and the value will get set as the mentioned one. Here is the third DML command, that is delete. Delete command is used to delete the row from the table. Follow this syntax. Delete from table name. Again, this is optional, but if you skip it, all the records will get deleted. So be careful before applying this command on the table. Here is the save delete command, that is with where clause. Delete from table name student personal where roll number equals to 3. It will delete only one record with the roll number 3. Hope you have downloaded the MySQL software. If not, make sure to check out this video in which there is a step-by-step guide for the same. Alright then, enter your password and come to MySQL. Now the first command which we are gonna execute is show databases. You will get a list of default databases. Moving ahead to the second query, we are gonna create our own database. For that we will be using command create database. The name of the database is student. Now let's execute the same query, show databases. Look at the output, our created database is listed over there. Using drop database command, we can delete the database. The syntax is drop database, database name. When we execute show databases command, look at the list. Our database got deleted. Alright, in this way we practice all the queries related to database. Now we must create the table inside the database. For that you should use database, then you can create the table. To create the table, we have create table command. Let's write the same query. Create table, table name is student personal. Press enter and come to the next line. The first column is RNO. The data type is integer. We are making it as a primary key. Write comma, press enter and come to the next line. The second field is name. The data type is varchar and the size is 20. You can write this size according to your need. For this field name, we are going to add not null. It means this column cannot be empty. Write comma and come to the next line. The third field is date of birth and the data type is date. Close the bracket, write semicolon and press enter. There are no errors. It means this query is getting executed properly. In this way, one table got created, but it's an empty table. There are no records in it. Now let's discuss the next command, DESC table name. With that we can check the structure of the table. With that we get the details of the fields. Now let's write one more query, show tables. With that you will get the list of all the tables in that particular database. You may get different list. Just like drop database command, we have drop table command too. Let's execute the same query then. Drop table, table name. Look at the output, query OK. It means that table got deleted. If you will try to check the structure using DESC command, you will get the error. Alright, we understood how to create database, delete database. In the same way, we know how to create table and delete table. But now we have to work on the table. For that we need to insert data into the table. So for that, first of all, create database, use the use command, then create table. You can check the structure of the table using DESC command. Now let's try to understand the insert command. Insert into table name. Then we are going to write values keyword. In the bracket we need to provide the data. The first field is RNO, which is of integer type. The second field is name, which is of varchar type. So enclose it in a single quote. Now let's provide the value for the date of birth. Date of birth, date of birth. Now let's enter the value for the third field, that is date of birth, which is of date type. So date also must be date also must be included in a single quotes. Follow MySQL date format to write the date, 4 digits for year, 2 digits for month, as well as 2 digits for day. In this way, we close the bracket, write semicolon and press enter. In this way, the query is executed properly. In this way, here is the query for insert command which is executed properly. We are getting the message query OK. With the arrow key, you can repeat the previous command, follow the same process and add some more records to the table. Let's discuss one more variation of the insert command. If you don't provide data for all the fields, you must mention the name of the fields after table name. Insert into student personal RNO name. Here we are providing the data only for 2 fields. Query is working perfectly fine. If we want to check the records of the table, you can write this query. Select star from table name. Don't worry, we are gonna discuss this query in depth in the coming videos. So here are the records of the table. In the recent insert command, we only provided 2 values for the 2 fields. That's why null got inserted into date of birth. Now if you want to modify already inserted record, you can use update command. Update table name. With set keyword, we are going to set the value for that field. Set date of birth. Now you know the MySQL date format. Enclose it in a single quote. Let's press enter and come to the next line. Now with the where clause, we must write the condition. We are going to update the date of birth for the roll number 107. So the condition will be where RNO equal to 107. RNO is of integer data type, so we will not enclose it in a single quote. Press enter. Look at the output. The query is working fine. One row got match and it is changed also. If you want to check the record, repeat the same query of select star from the table name using arrow key. Look at this record. Date of birth got updated. So in this way, with the update command, we can modify already inserted record. Now let's try to understand how to delete the record. For that, we are going to use delete command. Delete from table name. It's time to write the where condition, otherwise all the records will get deleted. We are gonna delete the recently added record where roll number is 107. Look at the output, one row affected. After deleting that row, let's check out the table content. We could see that row got deleted from the table. It's time to work on the alter table command. The first clause we are going to explore, that is add. So the query will be alter table, table name, that is student personal. Then write add clause. After that we must write the field name and its data type. So query got successfully executed. With the use of DESC command, let's check out the structure of the table. Look here, new field got added to the table. After adding one field to the table, what happened to the records? Let's check out with the select command. There are no values for the mobile number field. That's why null got inserted. You can change it, you can modify it using update command. Now let's explore the modify clause of the alter table command. We are going to change the data type of the mobile number field. So the query will be alter table, table name, modify. Let's write the field name mobile number and we are going to write the data type. Now we are going to mention new data type, that is nothing but varchar 10. Write semicolon and press enter. Here is the output. Query OK. 6 rows affected. To make sure whether it is reflected or not, you can use DESC command. Look here, the data type for the mobile number field got changed. Now it's time to check out one more clause, that is drop with the alter table command. With that we are going to delete the recently added field. So the query will be alter table, student personal, drop mobile number. We can confirm it with the DASC command. Look at the output, it got deleted. Along with field, if you have some constraints, that also you can delete with the drop clause. Look at this roll number field. We added primary key constraint to the roll number field. If you want to drop it, you can do it. Alter table, table name, then drop the name of the constraint, that is primary key here. Again, let's check out the structure of the table. You can notice that the key column is empty where PRI means primary key was written before. In this way, with the drop clause, we can delete the field as well as we can delete the constraint. Hope you understood all the queries. Make sure to practice it. Alright, that's a wrap for today's video. In the next video, we will cover some more commands. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. So until next time, stay confident, keep practicing. I will see you in the next video.